pitches. High and outside looks like a pitch out for ball one.
Troy, you're able to hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right.
And you're live. Now batting, pitcher,
1-0
John
count here.
Michael Lawson.
To the shortstop for Andrews, Jackson Baker. Looks like Orders right here's pitching. The runner will take off the first pitch out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome at last to the 2022 Dixie Boys and Junior State Tournament. I know you were able to see everything, but you weren't able to hear me. So there was a lot of action there in the bottom half of the first inning as Fort Mill pushes across 3 runs and currently has a runner on first and third after that walk to Stroup. And that brings up Connor Zombrano. First pitch comes across as a strike. Stroup takes off and steals second. Brings count to no balls and 1 strike as Connor Zombrano digs back in. Pitch on the way. Swung on, lifted up to center field. That's going to drop down for a hit. That's going to bring in a run and advance the runner from second to third as Connor has an RBI single. After that single, it's going to bring up the center fielder, Joshua Bass. On the mound for Barnwell, we have Reese Still. Throwing from the left side. 0-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled off. Connor was taken off on the pitch. He was going to steal second. He had a pretty good jump. Pitcher is not really looking over to first to hold him on at all.
And that will be easy stolen bases.
Now batting, number 1, Colin Kennedy.
2 runners that are on base.
And the pitch on the way. That's outside for ball 1. Puts count to 1-1. Joshua Bass enjoys eating hot wings, and his favorite movie is Top Gun, Maverick. And his favorite sports idol is Chipper Jones. That swung on and missed for strike 2. Brings the count to no balls and 2 strikes. Chipper Jones is one of the best switch-hitting baseball players of all time, so I cannot blame him for being his favorite sports idol. I actually have a Chipper Jones prospect card. Pretty interesting. It's back whenever he was a shortstop coming up in the Braves organization. His favorite pro team is the Atlanta Braves. The 1-2 pitch. That's low for ball 2. You'll have to bear with us today, ladies and gentlemen. We had a very long night last night. So we're going to try and stay away from this state of delirium. Looked like Reese was trying to throw an off-speed there. Tried to throw a curve ball, but didn't really curve much. Missed high and outside for ball 3. Yeah, a 3-2 count, no outs. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and that's going to be out number 1 for Reese Still. That's going to bring up the pitcher, number 7, Ian Schaefer. And we've got a timeout called on the field. The coach for Barnwell is walking out to the mound. He's having a discussion. The runner from second goes over to talk to the third base coach. This gives Ian Schaefer a little bit of time to reflect on what he needs to do here at the plate. If he really wants to push another run across, he's batting from the left side of the plate, so all he's really got to do is pull a ball on the ground to the right side, and that'll probably score a run here. A little bit of padding on the lead. And the meeting breaks up, and we are back to action. Looks like Barnwell might be playing infield in, and that's low and outside for ball 1. Looks like they're playing corners in, middle is playing double play depth, but there's no runner on first, so they won't be able to turn a double play. And the shortstop is bouncing back and forth, holding the runner on. And that ball is fouled off down the third base line. And that brings the count to 1-1. Now, Ian's starting on the mound today for Fort Mill. And if you remember, yesterday he started on the mound for them as well when they took on Beaufort County. He only threw 44 pitches, so he is eligible to throw today. Oh, and that's a great curveball over the plate for strike 2. It brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Here's the pitch. Little inside for ball 3.
Besides baseball, Ian enjoys doing taekwondo and robotics. And he also really likes playing video games. And that pitch is low for ball 2. Brings the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So now Andrews will have 2 runners on.
Got a runner on second and third with 1 out. And that's strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. And that's 2 down for Barnwell.
Now batting the second baseman, number 2, Grayson
That
Kelly.
strikeout brings up second baseman, number 2, Grayson Kelly.
Take off the third, and that is an airmail throw into left field. And Riley Jordan will take off. Oh, here's the throw around the
Grayson
plate.
Kelly is
They had the plate, folks, but Bonds could not hold on.
he's playing second, but he also pitches. Maybe we'll see him on the mound a little bit later today. Depends on how Ian does. And that first pitch catches him. Looks like it caught him straight in the ankle, but he does not care. He's hustling his way down to first. He wore that one like a champ, ladies and gentlemen.
Now batting the shortstop, number 8, Jackson Hollum.
And that flips the lineup over and brings up the shortstop, number 8, Jackson Hollum. And we've got a timeout called by Fort Mill. He's going out to talk to the home plate umpire. I saw a couple of points. He might be pointing to the on-deck batter. I'm wondering if we have a substitution for the on-deck batter here, because the kid at the plate is definitely Jackson Hollum. And it looks like there is no substitution. The umpire is going to tell us what's going on here.
For ball 1. So 1-2 count. Now 2 outs here in the bottom first.
The last batter was Gavin Sisler 1. He batted for 2. So 1 substitute for 2. That's the nice spot.
Here's the pitch from Hornus.
Okay.
Inside corner.
All right. Everything's been clarified for us now. And it looks like that was not Grayson Kelly that was hitting that last at-bat. That was Gavin Sisler. Gavin Sisler was hit by a pitch, and that ball is swung on and lifted out to center field. And the center fielder is going to make the grab for out number 3. But not before Fort Mill pushes 4 runs across in the bottom of first. This is the County Channel.
Thank you.
Hunter likes sloppy joes, and his favorite song is Chicken Fried. Here's
And a
pitch
little
from
bit of chicken fry.
So 1-0 count here to the hitter, Hunter Wood. One out, top of the
All right, welcome back. First pitch is
outside corner.
fouled off for strike one to Hall Cease, the starting shortstop for Barnwell Bamberg. Bamberg Barnwell, I apologize. I didn't really get a chance to do it, so I'm going to run through the lineups real quick.
How about his assistant?
Batting first for Barnwell. Let me do this after this pitch.
I like that one as well.
That's fouled off. I'm going to try and run through this before the next pitch. Batting first, Patrick Crosby. Second, Colton Baxley. Third, Jace Culler. Fourth, Hall Cease. Fifth, Reese Still. Sixth, Corbin Perry. Seventh, Vincent Gibson. 8, Caden Curse. 9, Jaden Zissett. Did you get all that? Good. And that ball is fouled off out of play as well. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, outside corner for strike 2.
And I'm going to do Fort Mill now. Batting first, Jackson Hollum. Batting second, Landon Bardseth. Third, Connor Fowler. Fourth, Parker Atwell. Fifth, Kyle Stroup. Sixth, Connor Zombrano. Seventh, Joshua Bass. Eighth, Ian Schaefer. And that ball is chopped through the hole, and that's going to get through for a base hit. And I couldn't quite get that full lineup in. Oh, that throw is high, and that means he's going to advance to second.
Their pitcher, number 10.
So that's going to bring up Reese Still for Barnwell with the runner on second. That was a single, and the throw was just a little bit high to the cutoff man. So Hall Cease was able to advance to second base. That's what happened there. Rounding out the lineup for Fort Mill is going to be Gavin Sisler, who came in to replace Grayson Kelly after the first half inning. The 0-0 pitch squares to bunt, and that's popped up foul for strike one. Now batting here is Reese Still. He's on the mound today for Bamberg Barnwell. And if I remember correctly, he was behind the plate yesterday. And the runner takes off. That runner was basically standing on third by the time the pitcher even delivered the ball, before he even broke to throw to the plate. That was an easy steal. And it looked like the batter may have had hit, and the coach may have had a hit and run called there because he swung at a very high pitch. That's an 0-2 count. Swung on and poked up the middle. Shortstop's going to make the play. And he's out at first, but not before he pushes a run across for an RBI. That was a very good at bat. Pushed the run across and brings the score to 4-1. Fort Mill is still leading. And after that RBI ground out, that brings up the center fielder, number 9, Corbin Perry. That's inside for ball one, and I apologize, he is not in center field. He is in left field. I can't read my own handwriting. Shocker there. Let's see if I can find some information here about Corbin. That ball is swung on for strike one. Corbin Perry, favorite food is pizza. I don't know about y'all, but my guess is pepperoni. His favorite movie is A Movie. We're putting a lot of effort into these. And that's chopped up the middle of the pitcher. He makes the play. Bounced off his glove, and he is out at first. That was a great recovery by the pitcher. That was a well-hit ball up the middle, and it bounced off his glove. He ran over the ball, slid on his knees, threw it from his knees, fired it to first, and got the out. With that ground out, that brings up Vincent Gibson. Pitch comes in, swung on for strike one. Vincent Gibson is wearing number 99. We have 2 kids in this game. Never mind. We do not. It's not this team. I'm wrong. And that's swung on for strike 2. That brings the count to no balls and 2 strikes.
Check out those places for a lot of fun and socializing with your friends, family.
And that's put into play, and that's going to fall in front of the left fielder for a single. That was a great piece of hitting there. It was a great at-bat.
Zoom play.
And after that single, that's going to bring up the right fielder, number 2,
Right fielder,
Caden
number
Kearse.
2, Caden Kearse.
So 2-1 pitch.
This time, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Palmetto Axes in the Zone, for sponsoring the Dixie Junior and Dixie Boys State Tournament here at Oscar Frazier Park. Come have a blast at the Zone, featuring escape rooms, ninja courses, baseball cages with hit tracks. It's an all-new, all-in-one, one-of-a-kind family entertainment for all ages. Located on Buckwalter Parkway next to Cinemark. And a pickoff move to first. He's back safely. Looks like the first baseman wasn't really ready for that one. He started bouncing off the base to cover his position, and he didn't have the ability to put a tag on because he was too far away from the base. 0-0 pitch on the way. That's inside for ball 1. And the runner takes off. He successfully steals second. It is indeed ball 1. That was right on the edge of the zone there. Couldn't have missed by much. And that's across for ball 2. Caden Kearse enjoys crab legs, and his favorite movie is The Benchwarmers. And that's high for ball 3. His favorite pro baseball team is the Atlanta Braves, and his favorite sports idol is Dansby Swanson. Best hair in the MLB. And that's strike 1. But the runner from second steals third. And the throw is not in time. He's safe at third. And that is Vincent Gibson out on the base pads. He has stolen second and stolen third. That's 2 stolen bases on the day after he dumped that single into left field. 3-1 pitch on the way. That's high and in for ball 4. He's going to take his base. And that walk brings up the third baseman, Jaden Zissett.
Third baseman, number 4, Jaden Zissett.
Now on the mound for Fort Mill is Ian Schaefer. He's throwing from the left side. And that's across for strike 1. He is very consistent with his stretch. Every time he comes set, he takes a deep breath.
Now batting,
You can
baseman,
take that to the bank.
Corbin.
That's wide for ball 1. And Caden Kearse steals second base. And that puts a runner at second and third with 2 outs in the top of the second inning. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed for strike 2. That brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jaden Zissett's favorite food is chicken Alfredo, and his favorite movie is Fast and Furious. And that ball is lifted out into right field, and that's going to fall in front of the right fielder. He fields it. He's going to throw it home. There's going to be a play at the plate. No, there's not. He's running back to third. The ball's coming into third. He's out. He's out at third.
Sorry, I got zoned in on Alex's call there on field 3.
And that's going to leave the score at 4-2. That pushed 1 run across as the runner from second got caught going back to third. Score is 4-2. Fort Mill leads as we go into the bottom of the second on the Beaufort County Channel.
Swung on and missed. Even got it 2-2 here, no outs, bottom of the second inning.
You're going to take your hat off and run out athletically and get it.
Every single time the ball is hit, he does that.
He drops it every time.
Now batting,
Every single
number
time.
1, Collins, Kennedy.
2-2 count here to the batter, Carter Castleman. Seeing what Holderness can do here. Here's the pitch. Big curveball that might have. to the right side. Colt Manley would field it and step on first.
Welcome back to Leo Venoni Field as first pitch comes across, ball one. Leading off the inning for Fort Mill is going to be Landon Bardseth. A 1-0 pitch, swung on and fouled off out of play. That almost hit the County Channel truck down there. That's who I've been in constant communication with all day, and that ball actually almost landed inside the truck because the back door is a little cracked open, but it missed it. And that swung on for strike two. That's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Landon Bardseth, whose favorite food is a tater tot hot dish, and he enjoys watching Stranger Things. A 1-2 pitch. That's swung on, off speed. Catcher drops it. He's going to toss it down to first for the out to complete the strikeout. That was a fantastic curveball. Fooled me up here in the booth, so I can only imagine that it fooled the batter there. And that's going to bring up third baseman number 9, Connor Fowler.
Looking to help his calls and get some runs in. Bryson was one of the 3 runs that came home in the first inning.
The first pitch is fouled straight back for strike 1.
And here's the pitch.
Connor Fowler is a pitcher and an outfielder.
Second base as he
And today, he is starting at third base
2 outs now. Here in the bottom
for
of the inning.
Fort Mill. And the second pitch is across for strike 2. Brings the count to no balls and 2 strikes. Now, Connor's favorite food is hot dogs, and his favorite movie is Spider-Man No Way Home. Well, Connor, let's see if you can find your way home here.
Doing a good job this inning, scrambling a bit.
And that is high for ball 1. Brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Outside for ball 1.
A 1-2 pitch. That's low for ball 2. Brings the count to 2-2. Connor's favorite baseball team is the Atlanta Braves, and his favorite sports idol is Ronald Acuna Jr.
2-0 on the hitter.
That swung on and missed, fouled back for strike 3. Catcher caught the ball. He's a little shaken up on that one.
Here comes swung on.
Umpire's going to take a little time to make sure he's okay.
Fouls.
Catcher's chest protector isn't strapped all the way in the back.
Baker. Gilbert looking to get out of this bottom of the second inning without
Coach is going to come out, make sure his player's okay. He's actually going to come out and make sure that the umpire has a baseball. Ronald Acuna Jr., who is Connor Fowler's favorite player who just struck out, is leading off for the Braves tonight, as the Braves take on, I'm not sure who they're playing tonight.
Here's the pitch. Swung on
We're going to
and
get a new
right
baseball
field,
put into
and
play.
that's gonna get over the head of the right fielder. Run's definitely going to score.
This pitcher has found a groove here.
2 runs are going to score. They're going to send Baker to
And after that strikeout,
he's gonna easily
that's going to bring up the catcher, Parker Atwell.
Shortstop.
And that ball is fouled off
Triple there. 2 RBIs, triple is
out of play near the parking lot.
for the shortstop.
And that's going to fall into a cluster of trees.
Rangers will take a 5-0 lead.
Brings the count to no balls and 1 strike to Parker Atwell. And that's a ball outside.
Catcher Connor Morris.
Parker's favorite food is steak,
Third base, so Connor look to see if he can
and his favorite movie is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
a sharply hit ball that right fielder for Gilbert.
And that's
Tyler
fouled straight back for strike 2.
McMahon.
Brings the count to no balls and 2 strikes.
So 2 outs here. Score is 5-0 now in favor of Andrews. And
Parker's favorite team is the Atlanta Braves, and his favorite sports idol is William Contreras.
the hitter Morris. Morris had a
And that swung on and missed for strike 3.
ground out.
Score remains 4-2 as we go into the top half of the 3rd inning. This is the County Channel. Welcome back. As we start the top of the third inning, Barnwell is going to lead off with number 6, Patrick Crosby. Jeez, sorry, got a little tied up there. First pitch is across for a ball inside. Almost ran in on him, got a piece of him, but it didn't. And that pitch is high and outside for ball 2. I think Schaefer threw a ball there because he changed up his ritual a little bit. He usually comes set and brings the glove in his hand to his chest and then takes a deep breath, but he took the deep breath before he brought his glove to his chest. And that's across for a strike. He did the same thing again this time. He took the deep breath before he came set. But that one worked out for him. Maybe he's just trying to throw off the batters a little bit. Throw him off the rhythm. I understand it. That's fouled straight back for strike 2. Brings the count to 2-2. Patrick's favorite food is steak, and his favorite movie is Rambo. And I believe that's with Sylvester Stallone. I'm getting confirmed that it is. But it's not the movie where Sylvester Stallone is boxing. It's high and outside for ball 3. I know that one. That one is Rocky. The payoff pitch. And that's straight down the middle for strike 3. Crosby started to jump out of the way like he thought it was going to run in on him. And it did not. It was straight over the middle. And that brings up the second baseman, number 8, Colton Baxley. Colton Baxley's favorite food is pizza, as he lifts one out to left field, and that's caught by the left fielder for out number 2. He sees one pitch and gets one out.
Next up to bat, right fielder, the center fielder.
And that brings up the center fielder, number 3, Jace Culler. Jace Culler is very coordinated with his red bat and red batting gloves. That comes out low for ball 1. Seems like Schaefer might be working behind in the count today. Pitching from behind. That ball is chopped. That's a great bunt. But he was swung. It was a swinging bunt, and that's a single for Jace Culler. He was flying down the line. Wheels on first. And that brings up the shortstop, number 7, Hall Cease.
His last name's Cannon.
Hall's favorite food is steak, and his favorite movie is The Bee Movie.
The Bee Movie.
Not a movie.
The Bee Movie. He's a big animated movie fan. But what a weird concept for a movie. The Bee Movie. And the pitch. And that's lifted out into left field, and that's going to drop foul. That fell right on top of the fence. It hit that yellow piping on top of the fence, which is not something you see very often. Very, very rare occurrence there. And that's going to be strike 1. This count goes to no balls and 1 strike. Batter steps out. Ian toes the rubber, takes his deep breath. And that ball is chopped down to third base, hit pretty hard on the ground. And the third baseman wanted no part of trying to stop that ball. It gets past him for a single. And that puts a runner on first and second with 2 outs. And that brings up the pitcher, number 10, Reese Still.
Taking a little break. It's hot out there, folks.
Reese Still enjoys eating cube steak, and his favorite movie is All America. And the runner takes off from second to third. Oh, and that was an attempted bunt there by by Reese, and he just couldn't quite get it down. He popped that one up. If he would have pulled that back, his runner would have absolutely stolen third, because this pitcher is not checking his runners at all whatsoever. It's like this pitcher has no interest in holding a runner on. Oh, he makes a move there. I don't think he would have made that move. I think the coach probably called that for him to do. But he made the move. But he's back safely to second. Makes me wonder what they're going to do here. We've got 2 outs with a runner on first and second. Ian Schaefer on the mound. Takes a peek at his runner. Ball is pitched high and swung on for strike 1. Excuse me, strike 2. The catcher tried to back pick to first because the runner from first thought that the runner on second was stealing, so he had a very aggressive secondary lead. But everyone is safe all around. After a couple of pump fakes from the first baseman, he tossed it back to Ian. And Ian's going to deliver the 0-2 pitch. And that's fouled straight back. That's going to almost hit the roof of our press box here. If that was about 5 more yards, that may have hit the window right in front of us. The count remains, no balls and 2 strikes. Our announcer over here, Harry, was about to jump out of the window to try and catch that one. The 0-2 pitch. And that's lifted up into shallow right center. The center fielder comes on, makes the play for out 3. The score remains 4-2 as we go into the bottom of the third. Fort Mills coming to the plate when we get back on the County Channel. The inning here for Fort Mill is going to be number 13, Kyle Stroup. First pitch is fouled back for strike 1. Kyle Stroup is starting in right field. And he has a very interesting way of playing right field. Whenever a ball is hit to him, he takes his hat off of his head and holds it in his throwing hand, and then fields the ball, drops the hat, grabs the ball from his glove, and throws wherever he needs to throw. Second pitch is swung on for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. It's very unorthodox. I've never seen it, but hey, if it works for you, go for it. We have a defensive change also. And that's way outside for ball 1. I think he was trying to get him to chase there. Not a bad idea. But sometimes you got to make it believable. For Barnwell, we have Hunter Steedley coming into the game to play second, replacing Colton Baxley. The 1-2 pitch was inside in the dirt. Catcher picks it up, throws it to first to complete the strikeout. And that is another strikeout for Reese still on the mound. And that brings up number 5, Connor Zombrano, the left fielder.
All right, back here at Oscar Frazier Field, number 2, Bluffton, South Carolina for the Dixie.
Connor Zombrano is this. First pitch is fouled off on the left side. Coach just stares at the ball as it rolls by. No attempt to make a play there.
It's going to be Colt Manley, who is the starter.
Connor Zombrano is a catcher, pitcher, and outfielder.
Colt's favorite movie is
His favorite foodie is pizza,
when he grows up.
and his favorite food is pizza, and his favorite movie is The Meg.
Number 13, Ethan
I think that might be The Megalodon. Not really sure there.
Here's Dixie, Ethan. Swung on and tapped.
And that ball is swung on and missed for strike 2, brings the count to no balls and 2 strikes. Connor Zombrano's favorite baseball team is the Chicago Cubs, and his favorite sports idol is Yadier Molina.
Manley looking in.
And that ball is wide.
Here's the pitch. Swung on.
Brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. He was trying to get him to chase again there.
As it falls.
Connor Zombrano's other favorite athlete is Michael Jordan, as that pitch comes in inside for ball number 2. And I'm sure Connor, like many of the people, watched The Last Dance, the docuseries about Michael Jordan and the
Who's counting out here, Ethan?
Chicago Bulls. And that's swung on for strike 3.
Not playing baseball. Here's the
And that's 2 outs
big curveball swung on and
for Bamberg Barnwell.
fouled off of something that's doesn't have
Now batting.
equipment.
After that strikeout, that brings up the center fielder, number 10, Joshua Bass. Joshua Bass has struck out so far in the game,
Yeah, I think he went off his
and that's inside for ball 1.
tough kid though.
It's the first at bat of this inning that Reese still has not worked ahead in the count. First 2 pitches, he went up, no balls and 2 strikes. And that pitch is outside for ball 2 as Reese does a little spin move after he threw it. I think he knew it was a ball right when he let go of it. Pitch on the way.
Manley on the way.
That's lifted out into right center field. The center fielder has a beat on it. He makes the play. His hat comes off in the process, but he made the play nonetheless for the 3rd out. We go into the top of the 4th inning. Fort Mill leads 4-2. This is the Beaufort County Channel. Bamberg Barnwell is going to be
Now batting
the left fielder, number 9, Corbin Perry.
Manley's ready for his next pitch here.
Corbin's favorite team is the Braves.
Side for ball 4.
As the first pitch is hit on the ground to the second baseman, fields it and throws it to first, and he's out at first
Colton Marlowe.
for out number 1.
next up to that, the catcher.
And after that, that brings up the catcher, number 99, Vincent Gibson. Now, last at bat, Vincent had a nice little single over the shortstop's head, and then he stole second and stole third. His first pitch comes in, and it's high for ball 1.
Here's the pitch from Manley. High and outside for ball 1.
Vincent's favorite food is wings, and his favorite movie is The Sandlot. Besides catcher, he also plays center field.
Manley looking on, he has a sign. I think it's 1-0 on my scoreboard operator. And there's a big
Pitch is hit on a line, dumps it into left field, and he is living over there. That's he's gonna build a house and live there. As he hits another single, and he's on first with 1 out. After the single, that brings up the right fielder, number 2, Caden Curse. So we have timeout called by the third base coach. He's gonna go have a conversation
Correction.
second base, but there are 2 outs in the bottom.
with
That number 11, Ian Delario.
Ball 2 is Manley is
I am now being informed that that is not Caden Curse. That is going to be number 11, Ian Delario. We did not know that because the coach failed to report that to the umpire. So no one knew that a substitute was coming in. He just sent this kid to the plate without telling anyone that there was a substitute. But it's fine. I'm fine. Everyone's fine. He's just supposed to let us know. And that pitch comes in for strike 1 to Ian Delario, whose favorite food is chicken and his favorite movie is Hustle.
Manley looks in to get his sign.
And we've got a runner on first, 0-1 count with 1 out. That ball is low for ball 1
3-1 count here.
as Vincent takes off and steals second on
Andrews has
the wild pitch.
position, but Manley is trying to shut the door on that for the Gilbert All-Stars.
Let's see if Ian makes a little move to second here. If either the second baseman or the shortstop holds the runner on. There is no one holding him on.
Count run even now.
And he takes a great jump, and the pitcher stepped off the mound there to try and fire it to third. But he was not in time. He is safely in at third with another stolen base. He didn't even steal on the throw home there. He stole before the pitcher threw home. And it worked out for him. We got a runner on third with 1 out.
Manley fields and throws it to first in the dirt, but it's picked.
And that's low and outside for ball 1.
Nobody made the
That brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike.
call, but looks like they're calling safe.
Pitch count for Caleb McBride, 6.
And that swung on and missed for strike 2. That was a high and outside, but he swung at it anyway. He thought he liked it, so he swung.
So Kobe Marlowe is going to be safe at first base.
2-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off near the parking lot. Nope, it didn't hit a vehicle. It almost hit a person. I think she stopped it with her foot out there. She just picked the ball up. She's going to bring it back to us. Hopefully she's going to give it back to the umpire because those are not souvenirs. And that ball is put in play. It's going to be fielded. No! The second baseman made a sliding attempt, but he could not quite put a glove on it. And that's going to be an RBI single for Ian Delario. And the substitute, the pinch hitter there, is going to pay off as Ian Delario drives a run across with an infield single. And that brings up Jaden Zissett. As the ball is thrown behind Zissett, if he wouldn't have moved out of the way, he would have had a free base. The catcher threw down to second anyway, even the ball went to the backstop. And Ian is in safely at second with a advanced on a wild pitch.
The kid pitched 44 yesterday. He can pitch all the way to 95 today.
It just won't be able to pitch to any of the ball.
And the 1-0 pitch to Zissett is swung on and missed for strike one. Is this its favorite movie? Is Fast and Furious. Tokyo Drift. His favorite pro team is the Atlanta Braves. And his favorite player, he lifts one up to left field. Left fielder is drifting back. And he makes the play, I believe, for the out. As the runner from second tags up and advances to third. That is a sacrifice fly. That may have been the deepest ball we've seen hit in the tournament on this field so far. Besides the one that was hit to the fence yesterday. That is incorrect. We had one hit to the fence yesterday. A kid made a play on the fence. That was actually Bamberg center fielder that made that play yesterday. But that was a very well hit ball. The left fielder made a good play on it. The first pitch comes into Crosby as a strike right down the middle. Brings the count to no balls and one strike. As Delario is on third base with 2 outs. And that ball is hit to the shortstop. He fields it. He throws across, and it is not in time. That's going to be a base hit for Patrick Crosby, and that's going to be an RBI as well. That evens the game up at 4.
Baseman number 1, Hunter.
And that's going to bring up the second baseman, number 1, Hunter Steedley.
Sorry, new pitcher is number 13, Ethan Jones.
Thank you. Very good.
Arrow's fired.
If we could fire there, I'll talk to you.
And that is low for ball 1 as Crosby takes off and advances to second base on the pitch.
Now batting number 12, Ian Irvin.
For all our viewers out there, score is 4-4 in the 4th inning. Got a whole lot of 4s. Lucky number is 4. And that pitch is across for strike 1. Looked like Steedley really wanted to swing, but he just didn't quite pull the trigger. That would have been a really good pitch to swing at.
Nothing right now here in the top of the 4th. We have a new pitcher for Andrews. That'll be number 13.
Hunter's favorite food is steak and french fries, and his favorite movie is The Sandlot. His favorite pro baseball team is the Atlanta Braves, and his favorite sports idol is Max Clark and Drew Jones. That's the second pickoff attempt that Schaefer has made. I don't think he's going to get this guy at second, but maybe he's just trying to keep him close so he doesn't steal third. I'm not sure if I've ever had the combination of steak and french fries before. It's a interesting combo. And that ball is in the dirt. The catcher's going to throw down to third, and he is safely in at third. Crosby advances. And I think the umpire ended up blocking that ball. That ball was going to get past the catcher, and I think it hit the umpire. So he was actually able to make the throw down to third there, or else it would have gone straight to the backstop. We've got a 2-1 count. 2 outs with a runner on third here as the substitute Hunter Steedley. And that is outside, catching the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Not really sure if that was the right call, but it is not my call to make. 2-2 pitch. And that is a cross for strike 3. But not before the damage has been done, as Barnwell ties the game up at 4-4 as we go into the bottom of the 4th inning. This is the Beaufort County Channel. at second with a stolen base.
Pitch. High.
Landon's favorite pro baseball team is the Milwaukee Brewers. And his favorite...
Everybody's
Oh,
pretty tired from yesterday.
that was an interesting. It looked like the base runner tried to catch the ball that was thrown down on the pickoff attempt. And that was unsuccessful pickoff attempt. But Landon's favorite sports idol is Jordy Nelson. So he must be a real... Landon must be a real cheesehead.
Another at least double for Jackson Baker. He is going
A 1-0
for three,
pitch.
and he might have
And that's
himself
poked out to the third baseman.
triple.
Checks the runner. He's firing over to first. And he is out at first. Third baseman made a great play there for the third out of the inning. The game remains tied at 4-4 as we go into the top of the fifth. This is the Beaufort County Channel. Off the inning here for Bamberg Barnwell is going to be Jace Culler,
First base, only one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
who so far today
Bat for Andrews.
has hit a single.
Nice
And the first pitch is
fastball
fouled off for strike one.
strike.
If you have an axe to grind, Palmetto Axes has your target. Fun for ages 12 and up. Mention you heard this here and receive 10% off. Must wear closed-toe shoes to throw.
One pitch coming. In the
Yo,
dirt
one pitch
ball,
on the way.
hit by Bonds.
Swung on and missed for strike two.
Advanced to
Well-placed pitch on the outside part of the plate
not to third. 1-1 count.
as Culler falls to 0-2.
1-1 count here. Runner on second base. Only one out in the inning. As Andrew
And that pitch is outside for ball one.
More runs.
Jace Culler's favorite pro baseball team is the Yankees.
Manley's looking in.
And that's a foul ball. Count remains 1-2. For some reason, he's a Yankees fan.
Pitcher, Manley will put it. No, he'll
But
go ball
I
with
can't
it.
blame a man for the teams that he enjoys watching. His favorite sports idol is Aaron Rodgers.
Runner, Riley Jordan will advance to third base.
His favorite song is MIA by SSG Kobe.
Relief pitcher. Rangers.
And that's ball two. The count goes to 2-2.
So runner on third base.
Schaefer sets.
Two outs here. One run already in the inning. Jones looking to help his.
And that looked like the umpire was going to call that a strike, and he changed his mind. I think he changed his mind mid call there, and he called it a ball. So count goes to 3-2. And that pitch is fouled back into the fence, and the count remains 3-2.
The hitter, Ethan Jones.
Now this is an elimination game, so the loser of this game will end up going home, and the winner goes on to play tomorrow at 4:30. Payoff pitch is swung on and missed hit by color for strike number 3 in the first out of the inning for Ian Schaefer.
Next up to bat, the shortstop.
Following that strikeout, that's going to bring up the shortstop, number 7, Hall Cease.
That's number 6. Carter Castleman will step
Number
in the
6,
batter's box.
Carter Castle.
Hall Cease has also hit a single earlier in the game. As he swings at the first pitch, he lifts it up to right field. The right fielder takes his hat off and just chucks it to the side. He's picking up the ball and throwing it in. And he throws it into the second baseman. And Hall Cease is into second base with a stand-up double.
Center fielder,
For injuries
Lucas
from
Hayes.
Castleman on the bat. Here's
Next
pitch
up to
from
bat, the
Manley.
pitcher,
High
number
inside for ball
10,
1.
Reese Still.
After that double, that's going to bring up the pitcher, number 10, Reese Still. And that ball is swung on high for strike 1. Somebody take his sword.
It looks like Manley's ready, and here's the pitch. Swung on and hit
Reese's favorite song is Lil Baby.
strike.
And when he grows up, he wants to be a farmer. And that pitch is outside for ball 1. Farmers are very important to the world. I can tell you that for a fact. I worked as a farmhand for 2 years in high school. That's swung on and missed. That was a much better swing than the first swing he took. And that brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Ball game. Final scores this
We'll
morning.
move on to the
Union
top of
County
the 5th.
12.
In his free time, Reese enjoys fishing and farming. And that ball is hit on the ground to the right side. The first baseman fields it, and he tries to make a play at the plate, but it is wide throw. The runner is going to round first and make his way to second. And that's going to be an RBI fielder's choice. That first baseman probably should have just fielded it and taken the out at first. He was trying to be aggressive and get the out at home.
Number 9, Corbin.
And that's going to bring up the left fielder, number 9, Corbin Perry.
On a great season and a great tournament play. Everybody can give them a round of applause. Congratulations, guys. That's all the ruckus crowd.
Corbin Perry so far today has grounded it out to the second baseman, but that does not matter as he gets hit by the pitch by Schaefer. And
Next up to bat.
Schaefer is walking it off a little bit. Schaefer is the one that hit him, and he's walking around the mound a little bit, looking a little distraught. I'm wondering if everything is okay. The coach is coming out to talk to him, but Schaefer went out to meet the coach. They're closer to the foul line than they are the mound. We're going to make some defensive changes here. Looks like the right fielder is going to come in to pitch. He is running to the mound with his hat in his hand. The left fielder is going to go over to right field. And I would imagine Ian Schaefer is going to go into left field.
84.
Ian Schaefer finishes the day with 84 pitches. And we're going to take a break and confirm our defensive changes when we come back to the Beaufort County Channel. And the new pitcher on the mound for Fort Mill is the right fielder Kyle Stroup. First pitch is high for ball one. And at the plate here for Barnwell, we have Vincent Gibson, who has been absolutely wearing out the shallow left field grass. He has hit a couple of balls just right over the infield for a couple of singles. The 1-0 pitch, that's high and inside. And by inside, I mean that's high and above Vincent's head for ball number 2. Brings the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Runner took off from second. He stole third. The runner on first remained there. So I would expect that we're going to see a steal here. I wonder if they're going to do a steal stop here. We almost had a foul ball land on our field there from field number 2. Hit the backstop. Thankfully, if it would have been probably 3 feet to the left, that would have been right in the middle of our field. That is going to be called a balk, ladies and gentlemen. He broke and took a step to the plate like he was going to throw, and then he just stopped right in mid-stride. So that's going to bring a run to the plate, and the runner from first is going to move over to second. And now Kyle is going to come set here. And that's across the plate for strike number 1. That brings the count to 2-1. And the runner on second steals third. With that balk, that evens the game up at 5-5 in the 5th inning. If you remember earlier, we had 4-4 in the 4th inning. So next inning, we're going to go for 6-6 in the 6th inning. And then maybe it'll be 7-7 in the 7th inning. Pickoff move to third is not successful. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Fielded, thrown, and he's out at first. But that's going to bring a run across as Barnwell takes their first lead of the game and goes up 6-5. This is the first time Barnwell has led in the tournament so far this weekend. So now the bases are clear for Ian Delario to come to the plate. As Kyle Stroup is going to be working on the mound with 2 outs. And that's going to be swung on and fouled straight back for strike 1. Count goes to no balls and 1 strike. Ian's favorite pro baseball team is the Braves, and his favorite sports idol is Acuna. Ronald Acuna Jr. When he grows up, he wants to be an MLB player. High hopes, little man. We love it. The umpire is walking around. He's pointing at something on the other side of the fence, nodding his head. Catcher is fixing his mask. The chin flap has come off. I feel like we can play without chin flaps these days. But I'm not the one making the call. He is on his knees trying to fix his mask here. He is getting no help from the coaches, the umpire, teammates, nothing. He is just struggling away here. The pitcher is going to start playing some catch with the first baseman. And it looks like he may have fixed the mask here. Back to the action on Leo Vinoni Memorial Field. So 0-1 pitch. And that's going to be grounded to the second baseman. He's going to field it clean, throw over to first in plenty of time for the third out. But Barnwell scores a couple of runs, and they are leading 6-5 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. This is the County Channel. Leading off the inning here for Fort Mill is going to be number 9,
Way outside, now get by Talon Bonds and all
Connor
that.
Fowler.
Stop is Durham advances.
Connor Fowler earlier in the game has struck out
Wow.
as he lines that one to left field, but that left fielder had a beat on it. He only had to take a couple of steps to his right side to make the play. And if that left fielder had been one more step over, he probably would not have made that play, and that would have been a double down the line. But as it is, that's going to be out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. And that's going to bring up
I'm not sure.
Parker Atwell, number 6 catcher for Fort Mill.
Foul ball. We have one
First pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1.
has eliminated North Augusta from the tournament. We'd like to
As Parker has also struck out earlier today.
congratulations on making it this far. Here's pitch from Gillen.
But his favorite band is AC/DC. He enjoys dirt biking and mountain biking in his free time. That ball is grounded to shortstop, fielded clean, throw over to first. It's going to be in time. Umpire punches him out at first base for the second out of the inning.
That'll be 3-1 to
And that's going to bring up the pitcher, Kyle Stroup.
Pitcher, number 13, Kyle Stroup.
Ball behind Gillen. Here's a
Kyle Stroup, like a lot of these guys at the beginning of the game, struck out early.
Old Talon's gonna have to
And he enjoys fresh crab legs and Star Wars.
last couple days.
Wonder how he feels about the Mandalorian series.
Definitely been beat up back there.
That ball is swung on and missed for strike 1.
So Kane will take first base on a walk.
He also participates in BMX.
Has 2 triples on the day, 2 stand-up.
And when he grows up, he wants to be a pro baseball player. As his second pitch is thrown in and swung for a strike, brings the count to no balls and 2 strikes, no runners on and 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. He starts with a very open stance, as the third pitch of the batter is wide for ball 1, and that brings the count to 1 ball and no strikes.
Hit could be the game over here.
As I was saying, Kyle starts with a very open stance and brings his front leg. His front leg is almost out of the batter's box
Deep to left field.
when he starts the at-bat, and he brings that leg all the way in to start his swing.
Back up and go home, Avery Durham.
And that looked like an off-speed pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3, the third out of the inning for Fort Mill, as we head into the top of the 6th inning.
Still 73. Pitch count.
Bamberg Barnwell is going to come to hit in the top of the 6th. This is the Beaufort County Channel. Inning here for Bamberg Barnwell is going to be number 13, Will Stillinger, who entered the game earlier. He did not start, but he entered the game earlier. First pitch is swung on and fouled off for strike one. And I do have to make a correction. The score is 4-7. Bamberg Barnwell is leading 4-7 in the top of the 6th inning. Pitch comes and it's outside for ball one. That brings the count to 1-1 to Will Stillinger. Seems like Kyle Stroup went from the windup to the stretch here. And that ball runs inside for ball two. And that brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. As Will Stillinger steps back into the box to swing here. He's swinging a very bright bat. Bright yellow. And that's low for ball 3. Count moves to 3-1. Kyle Stroup is working very quickly out there on the mound. And that's swung on for strike 2. Count is 3-2. Makes me wonder if he slowed down a little bit on the mound, he would be able to pitch more efficiently. And the payoff pitch is fouled off. Count remains full.
Well, let me tell you, he's been ripping off his hat and not making any catches in left field or right field over there in the last game.
And Kyle Stroup is going to come set. And that is high for ball 4. And Will Stillinger is going to take his base. Makes his way down to first. And that's going to bring up number 6, Patrick Crosby, as the leadoff man comes back up to the plate. He squares around to bunt. And he lays down a great one. Kyle's going to pick it up, field it, throw it to first. He's out at first. But the sacrifice bunt is successful as Stillinger moves over to second. And that's going to bring up number 1,
Now batting number 1,
Hunter Steedley. We got a runner on second with 1 out here for Hunter Steedley. And Kyle is going to step off and start running towards second base. I think he was going to try and tag him himself before he got back to second. Just keeping him close. And he comes set. That is right down Broadway for strike 1 to Hunter Steedley. His count goes to no balls and 1 strike. Next pitch is high for ball 1. Count moves to 1-1. Stroup is working real hard out there, and it's hard pitching in that sweltering heat out there. It is currently 85 degrees. Feels like 97 with the heat index. As the 1-1 pitch is on the way. That's right down the middle for strike number 2. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner on second. Kyle's pitching so hard out there, his jersey's come untucked and his hat's gone sideways. He comes set. And he's running towards second again. Picked the ball up and acted like he was going to throw it. I really feel like that move would be more successful if you didn't run towards second there, Kyle. Pitch high for ball 2. This at-bat has followed the same sequence. First pitch was down the middle. Second pitch was high. Then he tried a pickoff move. The next pitch was down the middle. Then he threw it high. And then he tried the pickoff move. So the next pitch is down the middle. Swung on for strike 3. And that's going to be the second out of the inning for Kyle Stroup. Bless you.
Now batting center fielder number 3, Jace Culler.
That's going to bring up center fielder number 3, Jace Culler, who legged out a single in the infield earlier today. The first pitch is swung on and missed for strike number 1. Kyle's jersey has just about come all the way untucked now. He had a little bit on the right side still tucked in, but that has just about come untucked now.
Can you please bring your line up to the press box?
And that's lifted out to center field. The center fielder makes a move. He keeps his hat on his head, not in his hand, and makes the play for out number 3 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Alec, are you on channel 1?
Barnwell leads 4-7 on the Beaufort County channel. Leading off the inning here for Fort Mill is going to be Connor Zombrano. And that's going to be high for ball 1. We've got a new noodle on the on the mound for Bamberg Barnwell. And that's going to be number 13, Will Stillinger, taking the place of Reese Still. Second pitch comes in for a strike, and that's going to be a 1-1 count. And that ball is put in play to the third baseman. He fields it clean, throws it to first in time for the first out of the inning. And Stillinger records his first out. And that brings up the center fielder, number 10, Joshua Bass. Joshua Bass' favorite song is I Was Only 16 by Kid G. And the first pitch is a cross for a strike, and that's Kid with 2 D's. K-I-D-D-G. He only plays baseball, but when he grows up, he wants to be a fighter pilot or a soldier. As he swings on for strike number 2. In his free time, he enjoys fishing. We appreciate your desire for future service, Joshua. That ball is fouled back. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes as Will Stillinger has worked way ahead in the count. Let's see what he does here. Joshua Bass daps up the catcher there. That was a nice move of sportsmanship.
Nothing wrong with having a broke nose.
And he swings and misses for strike 3 in the second out of the inning as Stillinger records his first strikeout of the game since coming in this inning. And that's going to bring up Ian Schaefer.
Now batting number 7, Ian Schaefer. Let's get that a good tournament.
Ian Schaefer, if you recall, is the one that enjoys Taekwondo. That ball is put in play, grounded to the second baseman. He fields it and throws to first. Not in time. That's going to be in time. I apologize. That's going to be an out at first there, as Ian Schaefer is thrown out by the second baseman. And that's going to keep the score at Good afternoon and welcome back to Oscar Frazier Park for the Dixie Boys and Dixie Juniors State Baseball Tournament. We had a bit of a fiasco earlier. The power went out in the entire state of South Carolina. So we've been dealing with that. We're working on cooling off down here in the press box. We had to open some windows, get some fans going. But now we've got a matchup for the ages between Mohawk and Latta. First pitch from Latta is going to be sent fouled on the first baseline.
Not bad. Number 18.
Away team is Mohawk. Leading off is going to be Ryan Bolus. Bolus is playing third base today. He's wearing number 45. On the mound for Latta is going to be number 99, Caden Lee. He's throwing from the left side, so we've got a lefty versus righty matchup here. First at bat of the day. Second pitch is sent over the second baseman's head, down for a single. Bolus is going to round first. The ball comes in. He's going to hold up there. That's going to bring up the shortstop from Mohawk, number 4, Austin Rodas.
Big time line drive out there to.
I'm going to quickly run through the lineup here for Mohawk after this pitch. Inside for ball one, we've got third base Ryan Bolus, shortstop Austin Rodas, pitching Trey Briscoe, right field Thomas Donadio. First base is Ethan Justice, and that ball crosses for a strike, brings the count to 1-1. DHing for Ethan is going to be KJ Griffin. Center field is Cullen Seitler. Left field is Judd DeSell. And that pitch is across for a ball. That brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Second base is Luke Jervey. Catching is Braden Gross. The 2-1 pitch. And that's outside for ball 3. Head coach for Mohawk is Jason Rodas. Assistant coaches are Chris Bolus, Judson DeSell, and Mike Justice. The 3-1 pitch. And that's wide for ball 4 as Aaron Epps, the umpire behind the plate, points down to first to award him his base. And that's going to bring up the pitcher, number 3, Trey Briscoe. Substitutes for Mohawk are going to be number 7, John Michael Creech, and number 73, Hamp Reynolds. In a second here, we'll go over the defensive alignment for Latta. He squares around the bunt. He pops that one up in the air. Oh, and it gets down. The pitcher picks it up, fires it to first in time. Great play by the pitcher. He picked that up, and it had to be an absolute strike to first, and it was. But it does the job as the runners move from first and second over to second and third. So we've got a runner on second and third with 1 out here for Mohawk in the top of the fifth. Top of the first. And that's going to bring up the right fielder, number 27, Thomas Donadio. Thomas Donadio is the right fielder. As that ball comes in low and inside for ball 1, and there's a back pick to third. Third baseman does a great job sacrificing his body to keep it in front of him and potentially saves a run there. Thomas's favorite food is spaghetti, and his favorite movie is Wolf of Wall Street. That is not a movie you want to take your kids to. And that pitch is outside for ball 2. The count goes to 2-0.
Third baseline.
He's at first base coach.
And I'm being informed that the first base coach is indeed Judson DeSell. And that's inside for another ball. That brings the count to 3-0.
Did he pay to get in? He looks like he has a wristband.
Thomas's favorite team is the New York Yankees. And that one's right down the middle for a strike. That brings the count to 3-1. Following the Yankees' favorite team, his favorite player is Derek Jeter, which they are actually making a documentary about him coming out soon. Going to be featured on ESPN, I believe. And that ball is low for ball 4. He's going to take his base. And that's going to bring up the designated hitter, KJ Griffin. KJ's favorite food is a lobster tail. And his favorite movie is Good Burger. Welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. And that's going to cross the outside part of the plate for strike one. He falls quickly to 0-1.
Center fielder Justin Lusk.
Now Justin Lusk will step to the bat.
As stated earlier, on the mound for Latta
Fielder.
is Caden Lee as he delivers low for ball one. And some great hustle behind the plate there by number 2, Ryan Parrott, who's the leadoff hitter. Your battery is the number 1 and 2 hitter in the lineup. Ryan Parrott behind the plate. On the mound, Caden Lee, batting first and second in that order.
Runner goes and here's the go down to
Batting third is going to be Reese Rouse, who's playing shortstop. Batting fourth is going to be the first baseman, Brian Berry.
Alston.
The 1-1 pitch, no, he's going to pick off to first, and he's back safely.
0-1 count here to Lusk.
Looked like Brian Berry may not have been completely ready for that, but he caught the ball nonetheless.
Side for ball one.
Batting fifth for Latta is going to be the center fielder, J.P. Bly. Batting sixth is the second baseman, Heath Mew.
On the rubber. Here's the pitch.
And that's outside and high for a ball. That brings the count to 2-1. Heath Mew is starting at second base, and he pitched a heck of a ball game yesterday. He was just lights out through the entirety of the game. And he also had quite a good day at the plate. That ball is fouled off.
No outs.
He's going to stay alive at the plate. Count goes to 2-2. Batting seventh and playing third for Latta is going to be Logan Bird, who also had a couple of really good plays last night.
Swung on and missed.
Batting eighth, playing right field, is going to be Zach Lane. That ball is swung on and missed for strike three, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. That ball kind of got away from Parrott there, but some good hustle to get to it, and Caden did a very good job covering the plate as well.
Cullen Seitler.
And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Cullen Seitler. Now, I will say this, if Caden can pitch out of this jam, that'll be quite impressive. He'll have had the bases loaded with one out. If he gets out of this, that'll be really something.
Runner on second base.
And that ball is fouled back for strike one. He actually had a runner on second and third with one out there. Anyway, back to the Latta lineup. Right field batting eighth is Zach Lane. Left field batting ninth is Adrian McDonald. Substitute for Latta is going to be 14, Nick Mendez. The pitch is in, and that must have been low for ball one. That brings the count to 1-1.
Here's the pitch from Monahan.
Head coach is going to be Brandon Lane. Assistant coaches Josh Lee and Kevin Dixon.
The hitter Grant Smith.
Oh, pitch, and it's fouled off. Brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. As stated earlier, the umpire behind the plate is going to be Aaron Epps, and on the bases is Mike Spelly. Mike Selly.
Monahan looks like
I
he's about ready
completely just imagined that there was a P in that name, and there is no P.
barely inside.
1-2 pitch, and that looked like an off-speed pitch, just missed inside for a ball. That's going to bring the count even to 2-2. 2 outs, 2 runners on.
Colson Porter.
As Colson Porter, the third baseman, steps into the batter's box.
That ball is put in play, grounded to the first baseman. He's going to field it and step on the base for the third out. Fantastic job by the Latta defense there. Hold them to 0 runs as we go to the bottom of the first inning here on Field 3. This is the Beaufort County Channel.